I'm attorney Lewis S. Haskell, the law office of Lewis S. Haskell at 16 Pine Street in Lowell. I'm making another video, this time talking about the practice of personal injury law, specifically motor vehicle accident law, but it could be pretty much any other type of personal injury, in the era of COVID-19. Today is April 9. I am in my office with my wife and my daughter. My staff is elsewhere. Nevertheless, mail has come in and things are happening. And this is all part of today's mail, and let me just kind of go through a few things. I apologize, I've already opened this one, so I actually know what it is. This is a client who called me on the telephone who had been in a motor vehicle accident. We discussed everything, and I sent the paperwork. This is a contingent fee agreement, and again, I have to cover things, but the contingent fee agreement, medical authorizations, you know, the basic intake stuff. This person has sent me pictures of the motor vehicle. This person has sent me the police report, the emergency room stuff that the hospital gave this person when they went to the emergency room, things like that. So even though we have not met face to face, we have the beginnings of a case here. Now, unfortunately, what we do have going on now is that people can get in with their primary care doctors. They can, of course, go to the emergency room, as happened here. But in terms of physical therapy and whatnot, we seem to be at a loss. And we are working with clients case by case to figure out how they can get some kind of treatment or some kind of management of their condition, and also to get the documentation that the insurance companies will require down the road to prove their injury. This has been a new experience for us all, and we are working our way through it. And I've actually been in touch with various physical therapists, chiropractors, whatnot, on this subject. And again, case by case, we seem to be making good progress. The good news is we are kind of outside of the box thinkers here and are working our way through this most unusual situation. Oh yeah, good, I covered the name. This is from Elko, and it is a settlement check. And this one is interesting. Now the demand, the original demand package, I believe, was sent before the office was affected by COVID-19. However, while we were working remotely, the insurance company asked for more stuff. While we were working remotely, we got the more stuff. We negotiated the case. We came to a settlement. The client signed the release remotely. And we now have the technology actually for signing PDFs and that. I mean, there's technology for everything. So, one of the interesting things about this experience is that we are set up to do everything outside of this office, and to do it with except for video, which will be in a couple weeks, HIPAA compliant. As if I was a doctor, medical doctor or something, HIPAA compliant security and privacy. But in any event, as I say, this is a settlement check, and I already have an authorization from the client to endorse the check, deposit the check, and mail this person her net proceeds. Here's another settlement check, this one from Liberty Mutual. Much the same story. In this case as well, the demand was sent out a little bit before we started working remotely, but everything else was done remotely in terms of negotiating, getting signatures. Let's just kind of show the back here. It's a check. Getting signatures and whatnot. it's not all good. It's not all good. This is a letter from an IME vendor. So the insurance companies are working too. IME stands for Insurance Medical Exam. The insurance companies will say it stands for Independent Medical Exam, but we know better. Well, this is an October loss. They're scheduling a May 22nd exam. So I guess that's not too awful. But that just goes to show you the insurance companies are still at their desks, more or less. They're all working virtually as well. And I will say they're not working as efficiently as they did when they were physically at their desks rather than virtually at their desks. But things are happening. This is a letter from Middlesex Superior Court. I am curious about this one, if only because the Middlesex Superior Court has moved somewhat from Woburn to Lowell, but we haven't been in the Lowell courthouse because COVID-19, it's not open to the public. But let's see what we have here. This is just simply a motion was filed. Oh, good. It does have a 370 Jackson Street address, and the court has ruled on the motion. Let's see, cover the name, but as I say, this is just a ruling from Middlesex Superior. So once again, even though the courts are not open in the sense of we cannot physically go to court and argue about things, and we cannot try cases and whatnot, things are on some level still happening. And finally, these are medical records, Northeast Rehabilitation Hospital. One of the really cool things these days is we get all our medical records electronically. And although we are set up so that we can securely receive medical records over the internet, a lot of providers would rather send us a CD. Some of them actually aren't set up for direct internet portals. This is, again, a physical therapy place. And others, I guess, just feel more comfortable, but whatever. This is a CD, and it is from Northeast Rehab Hospital. I don't know when we requested this, but we can feel confident that it was mailed on or about April 7. And so there you go. Again, these are interesting times. Things are not the way we would like them to be. I do miss seeing my clients, and I do miss my staff. I do miss the energy of this office where we have a lot of people in here and a lot of things going on. And I'm not going to pretend that everything is running the way it was running a month or so ago. It is not. It's not running exactly the same here. And more importantly, it's not running the same outside of here. Getting return phone calls is more difficult. Online portals are closed in a lot of places, which I don't understand, particularly in the government. Why so many government portals are closed, but they are. But for the most part, we are managing to continue to move cases forward. And today's mail, I think, makes an extraordinarily good example of that. As we see a new intake, we see a settlement check, we see medical records coming in, and we even see a ruling from the Superior Court. So, until we can meet again, please stay safe and stay healthy. And I'm sure that this will pass. Thank you.